Hello and welcome to the Learning Love Podcast. This is where we learn what love is and how to live a life of love in every area. My name is Dr. Mark A. Hicks, author of the book Learning Love. Love can be practical, tangible, and a realistic life for everyone, regardless of your relationship experiences so far. So thank you for joining me as we spend some time learning love.
Love is the answer. Now all we have to do is explore all the questions. And today's question is, what about respect? How does respect fit into our relationships? Well, it's vitally important. And today we're going to talk about that. But first, I have an important announcement. I'm very excited to say my book is now available for pre-order. My book, Learning Love, is being published by Morgan James Publishing. It will be available wherever books are sold in June of 2025, but pre-orders are now available. Go to my website, markahicks.com, and pre-order your book. That's very important for new authors. I'm emphasizing this because this is my first publication, and booksellers take a great deal of stock in pre-orders when it comes to new authors. They like to see 300 pre-orders, and that means 300 distinct orders. Somebody who orders 20 books still counts as one order. Since this is my first published book, they're going to be looking carefully to see how many pre-orders I have, and so I could really use your help. Go to my website, markahicks.com. The links to Barnes & Noble and Amazon are both there, and I'd be deeply grateful if you would help show the booksellers that this new author has something to say. So again, my deepest thanks for going to markahicks.com and pre-ordering your book today. Thank you so much. So now, let's get into today's question. Let's deal with the idea of respect in relationships. We're going to look at what relationships are like when respect is not part of the relationship. Then we're going to take a look at what it looks like when respect is part of the relationship. This is what we want. And finally, we'll take a look at how to build, how to foster respect in our relationships. It's critically important that respect is part of every relationship. Some people will have a sense of love, which means they have an emotional connection, but they are not showing respect. And this tends to doom our relationships. Even when there's an emotional connection, if we're not showing respect for one another, we're going to have a hard time sustaining a healthy relationship over time. Respect is vital. And so we're going to look at how to foster respect in your relationships, because this is something we all need and deserve. If we're going to be in a relationship, it needs to be one of respect, whether that's a friendship, co-workers, and certainly within our family and within our romantic relationships and marriages. Respect is crucial. So let's learn how to do that today. Now let's first think about what relationships look like when respect is lacking. When respect is not part of our relationship, what does that look like? Well, there's some common characteristics that are red flags in this situation. One is a continual sense of criticism. If someone is continually criticizing you, nitpicking, always looking to point out flaws, always pointing out shortcomings, always looking for something to say. We all have flaws and shortcomings, and sometimes, they need to be pointed out. It's okay when a friend or coworker sometimes says, hey, I think we could work on this. That's not a terrible thing. But when someone is continually looking to criticize, that is a sign of lack of respect. When somebody shows contempt for you, that is a sign of disrespect. Also, when someone is exhibiting controlling behavior, when they are looking to control you, they are not respecting you. Respect allows for some freedom. it allows for some growth. Respect allows for some deviation of thought. We don't all have to agree, but we can still respect one another in the midst of disagreement. It's when we try to control each other. If someone is trying to control you, control your actions, even control the thoughts in your head, you need to think like they think. You need to believe as they believe. You need to act as they act, or as they want you to act. And that's actually more accurate. They don't want you to act the way they do. They want you to act the way they want you to act. These controlling behaviors are a sign of disrespect. They may have love for you in the sense that they have an emotional connection. They may claim love in the sense that I'm just trying to control things because I love you and I don't want to see you get hurt. Those kind of statements are common, but that does not show respect. When somebody disregards your boundaries, that is a sign of disrespect. We have a right to set boundaries. We have a right to say when we're not comfortable with something, when this is just not feeling right for us. And if someone is not respecting your boundaries, they are showing disrespect for you. That is not a relationship of respect. And neglecting your emotional needs. This is particularly true within marriages and romantic relationships and family relationships. If someone just dismisses your need for anything, if someone is just dismissing your needs, your emotional needs are going unmet, and there's not really a sense of caring about that, that is a sign that you are not respected in that relationship. And so again, someone may claim love. They may say they love you. They may do nice things for you. They might take care of you. They might have an emotional connection with you. But if they are trying to control you, they are constantly criticizing, showing contempt for you, if they don't respect your boundaries, if they're neglecting your emotional needs within the relationship, then respect is not part of your relationship. And it's going to be extremely difficult to call that a healthy relationship if there's not respect. Now, I have continually told this story from a perspective of how people are treating you. But it's also important to take the time and be honest with yourself. Are you showing respect? I could say everything I just said from the other perspective. Are you criticizing the people in your life and showing contempt for them? Are you trying to control them, even in the name of love and caring? Are you violating their boundaries? Are you dismissing their emotional needs? If you want to be a good partner in a relationship, a good family member, a good friend, a good coworker, you need to evaluate, are you showing respect? Even if you're showing other good qualities, do you respect the people in your life, and are you showing them that respect? We all need to keep that as an evaluation in our life. Are we respecting others, and are they respecting us? So if those are the signs of disrespect, what are the signs of respect? What does it look like to have a relationship where you respect the people in your life and they respect you? There's a few signs you can look for to see if respect is part of your relationships. One is, are people listening to you? Doesn't mean they always agree with you, but are they listening? Do they care enough to hear what you have to say? Do they honor your boundaries? When you're not comfortable with something, are you allowed within that relationship to sort of back out of that situation? Do they honor your feelings about things? Do they honor your perspective? Do they honor those boundaries that you're setting? Do they celebrate your successes? You know someone respects you when they are happy when you succeed. We all know there's people out there that will find ways to undercut our success, that feel threatened by it. There's a sense of contempt when we're experiencing success. The people who respect you are those who will celebrate with you when good things happen. And when there are conflicts, when things are not going so well, do they work at resolving that? The people who want to resolve conflicts with you, they want to work things out. It might be difficult sometimes. Life can be very complicated, and sometimes there are divisions between us. But the people who respect you want to work out those divisions, those conflicts, those disagreements. When things come up, the road gets a little rocky in that relationship. Things are not so easy. Things are not very fun at the moment. The people who respect you want to work it out. They want to deal with it and resolve that conflict. When they show that kind of effort, they're showing respect for you in that relationship. And the people that respect you will not dismiss you. They will not show dismissive kind of behavior. If you're getting a, well, whatever kind of attitude from someone, that's not respect. Respect is when people care about what's going on with you. They respect what you have to say. They want to hear what you have to say. They care about what's going on in your life. If someone is dismissive, that's disrespectful. When they care about what's happening, they are showing respect for you. Even if it's not their thing, they might not even understand what you're doing or why it's important to you. But when they show that they care of what's going on in your life, even if it's not their thing, when they care what's going on with you, they're happy when you're happy, those are all signs of respect. This is how we deserve to be treated in a relationship, and the people we care about in our life deserve to be treated this way too. If you're going to care about and respect people in your life, listen to them. Honor their boundaries. Celebrate their wins. Resolve conflicts. Don't just dismiss their feelings. When we live this way with each other, in all our relationships, again, this is home, this is work, this is our neighborhood, this is our churches, any area of life where we interact with people we care about. When these are the characteristics of the relationship, we have a relationship for respect, and that is a relationship that is usually healthy. These are healthy characteristics in a relationship. And so we need to foster these. These are the things that we need to work on. These are the things that we need to develop. And so the next question is, how do we do that? How do we foster respect in a relationship? How do we build relationships of respect? So let's take a look at that. So if we are going to have respect in our relationships, we're going to show it for others. We're going to expect them to show it to us. We're going to foster this relationship of respect, which builds healthy relationships. What do we do? Well, one very critical aspect is we need to have empathy for one another. Empathy will take you a long way. Putting yourself in their shoes, trying to see from their perspective, trying to feel a little of what they feel. Empathy will take you a long way in a relationship. We all have our tendency to get dug into our own opinions, to want what we want the way we want it, when we want it. We're all a little selfish that way. But being able to have empathy for others, what they feel, what they want, the way they see things. You don't always have to agree, but having empathy for where they are in their journey will take you a long way into respectful relationships. Another thing to work on is communication. What we say and how we say it. Are we showing respect in how we communicate? Generally speaking, married couples are not going to do well barking orders at one another. That's not how intimate relationships work. Maybe there's some people that it does. There's exceptions to every rule, I suppose. But for the most part, we need to learn how to communicate respectfully, with a sense of kindness, with a sense of empathy. Watch how you say things, because showing a measure of kindness, attempting to be nice in the way you say things, goes a long way into showing respect for the people in your life. Show appreciation. This is a big one. Especially if you've been in that relationship for a long time, it's easy to take people for granted. It's easy to forget to show that appreciation, to say thank you, to genuinely notice what they do for you and appreciate it, letting them know that you do. If you've worked with somebody for a long time on a job, if you've been married for a long time, if you've been in a long-term friendship with someone, it's going to be easy along the way to just take that for granted. They're always there. They do what they do. And of course, they're nice to you. They love you. Don't lose perspective on how valuable that is. Show appreciation. And when you do, you're showing respect. You're showing respect for them as a person. You're not taking them for granted. You're not overlooking or dismissing the things they do for you, how much they mean to you. So if you want to foster respect, show appreciation. And here's another thing that will help you that some of you won't like. Learn to apologize and learn to forgive. We're not going to be perfect in our relationships. We're going to make mistakes. But when you respect someone, you apologize. You recognize how you hurt them, what you did wrong, and you apologize for it. And when you respect someone and they apologize to you, you forgive them. We understand that we're not perfect. We're going to make mistakes. Now, I always put a little parentheses here. That doesn't mean that we accept abuse. You can't just dismiss abusive behavior with an apology. But within non-abusive relationships, functional relationships, there's going to be mistakes. There's going to be bad days. Things are not always going to go perfectly. And so if you respect someone, apologize to them. That doesn't come easy for some people, but learn to do it. Like every other practice, you'll get better at it. Learn to say, I'm sorry. Put your ego aside and apologize. And when you respect someone, accept the apology that comes. Relationships of respect are those that can apologize and forgive, that we can make things right when they go wrong. When you can do that, you're building a relationship of respect. And finally, if you want to show respect to someone, support their independence. We're all unique. We all are in the growth process. We're all learning along the way. And we all have to have room to grow. And so if you respect someone, give them that room. Allow them some independence. Controlling behavior is not respect. If you want to show respect for someone, allow them to have some independence. Support their journey. Celebrate their growth. Give up that desire to control and allow that person in your life to be independent as they do for you. Couples who have independent kind of relationships, even as they are joined together, have the best kind of relationships. They do a lot of things together, they enjoyed a lot of time together, and yet they both have their own independent interest. A professor of mine once used this analogy. He said, think about ice skaters. In couples skating, they're usually joined together, holding hands, intertwined in some way, and yet there are times that they split off and they do turns and they do amazing things on the ice individually before they come back together again. Relationships are a bond. They need time together, but they also support independence. They also support individuality. And so if you want to have healthy relationships, respect is going to be crucial. Foster these things in your relationships, and you'll be a long way into building those relationships that you want in your life.
Thank you for joining me on the Learning Love podcast. If you're ready to live your life of love, visit my website, markahicks.com, to get my free ebook, The 5 Components of Love. And coming in 2025, my new book from Morgan James Publishing, Learning Love, Building a Life That Matters and Healthy Relationships That Last. Pre-orders will be available soon. And remember, love is the answer. Now all we have to do is explore all the questions. Love well, everyone.